معنا النهارده في هذا اليوم. يبارك علينا ويبارك على كل الحاضر كل بركات السماء. اسمه للنفس الاخير من العذراء مريم حبيب قديس عظيم انبا شنودة انبا برام. اسمعنا لما نقول لك بالشكر يا ابانا الذي في السماوات.
اقعد عشان نشوف اللي وراك في العيال.
Hi guys, how are you doing? Do you know why we're here today? We came from a very far place to tell you a story. This story is told me all up. Are you ready? I can hear you. Are you ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Yeah.
Jesus entered as a king into the city of Jerusalem, sitting on a donkey. People were putting clothes on the ground and holding palm leaves as he entered the city. Also, everybody was excited and yelling, "Hosanna to the King of Israel."
مثلا لازم احط ده كده بس لازم احط ده هنا
ايوه عشان تبقى زي الارنب.
On Passover night, which is a feast that the Jews celebrated, Jesus and his disciples celebrated it together in St. Mark's house. And Jesus took bread into his hands and looked up toward heaven and blessed it. He broke it and he gave it to his disciples, and he said, "Eat this, for it is my body, and this is given for the forgiveness of sins." Also, he took a cup after supper. He mixed it with wine and water. He blessed it and he tasted it. He also gave it to his disciples and said, "Drink of this for this is my blood. Do this in the remembrance of me." After they were done with the supper, Jesus and the disciples went to a garden, and Jesus went to pray. He told the disciples to stay up and also pray, but all of them slept instead. Jesus laid on a rock and started praying. He prayed and said, "Father, please save me from dying on the cross, but if that is your plan, it shall be done." Afterwards, Judas, his disciples, went with the guards to take Jesus to kill him. Then Judas ran to Jesus and said, "O teacher," and kissed him. Immediately, the guards laid their hands on him and took him to the high priest. The guards took Jesus, and when they arrived at the high priest, they started the trial, but they didn't find anything that he did wrong. However, they still didn't like him and wanted to kill him. The priest asked him, "Are you the Christ, Son of the Blessed?" Jesus replied, "I am Christ, and you will see me coming with the clouds of heaven." Then the priest tore his clothes, and he asked that the other people what they should do with him. They said that he shall be killed, and they hit him and spit on him and sent him to Pontius Pilate, the Roman ruler of Judea. When Jesus arrived at Pontius Pilate asked him if he is the king of the Jews. And then Jesus answered him and said, "What you said is true." Pontius Pilate sent Jesus to get whipped. The guards made fun of him, blindfolded him, and slapped him, and would tell him a prophecy about who slapped him. Then they tied him to a piece of wood and whipped him 41 times on his back. At every feast, Pontius Pilate would release one prisoner that the Jews requested. And at that time, there was one named Barabbas. He was a prisoner that killed one of the Romans. Pilate told the people, "Do you want me to release the king of the Jews or Barabbas?" Then the people yelled, "Barabbas." Then Pilate said, "What do you want me to do with the king of the Jews?" Everybody yelled out, "Crucify him." The soldiers took Jesus to a place named Golgotha, which means skull in Hebrew. They took his clothes off and they nailed both of his hands and legs to the cross. They also crucified 2 thieves, on the right one and on the left of him. And the priest made fun of him and said, "Save yourself and come down from the cross." When the 6th hour came, there was darkness on the whole earth, and then Jesus cried out with a loud voice, saying, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani," watching him, and when he was on the cross, which means, God, why have you left me?" St. Mary and St. John the Beloved were watching him, and when he was on the cross, then Jesus told St. Mary and St. John is going to take care of her. And then he also tells St. John to take care of her. Then Jesus cried in a loud voice and took his last breath. After Jesus died, a guard came with a spear and stabbed him to make sure that he was dead. And when he stabbed him, blood and water came out from his side. After Jesus was dead and was stabbed, they took him and buried him. soldiers were at Jesus' tomb guarding it. Then the earth started shaking, and Jesus rose from the dead.
Good job, everyone.
You did so good, Miriam.
تعالي لو تيجي تمثيل.
تعالوا هنا. كويس كويس.
في حد